dead person had been put in the back of the van. Someone who had already bled effusively, as the blood was now flowing passively.
If the victim's body was in the back of the van, it must have been the murderer who drove it. The experts examined the driver's seat, looking for DNA.
There were fibers on the driver's seat. Fibers which came from someone's clothing.
In order to identify what item of clothing they came from, the fibers were compared to Natalie Villeneuve's clothes. The results are negative. The prime suspect's clothes are analyzed next.
The results showed that these fibers almost certainly came from Patrice Chevalier's blood-stained jacket found in his hotel room. More importantly, they also revealed that there were far more fibers, more than twice as many in the driver's seat as on the passenger seat.
This is irrefutable proof that Patrice Chevalier has driven the car recently, perhaps even on a fateful night. The police no longer have any doubt about Chevalier's guilt, especially as a new clue comes to light, which convinces them even further.
At 4:28 on the night of the murder, Natalie's van was flashed by a speed camera, which the investigators noticed was not very far from the scene of the crime.
Pas du tout loin de la scène de crime.
The photo taken by the speed camera does not make it possible to identify the driver. However, the radar is in an area which coincides with a call made on Patrice Chevalier's mobile phone.
At that stage, we knew that at 4 a.m., Chevalier's mobile phone and Natalie's van were somewhere that Natalie should have no reason to be.
Geolocation of Patrice Chevalier on the night of the murder. His DNA found in the vehicle and on the victim. His alibis that do not add up. Everything points to him being the killer. And yet, he goes on denying everything.
We no longer need a confession when we have such a wealth of evidence against him.
But because he was the kind of person who always had an answer for everything, we had to keep digging deeper for clues until it eventually led to an accumulation of corroborative evidence as to his guilt.
Without a confession, it is impossible to know what really happened on the night of the murder. According to the coroner, a sexual assault had probably preceded the murder. And the photographs found in Patrice Chevalier's mobile phone confirmed that he was obsessed with Natalie. Did he spontaneously kill her because she rejected his advances?
Maybe he saw the car journey as his opportunity to come on to her. She turned him down, and things got out of hand. But that doesn't hold. The fact that he had called Agnès the night before to get her to provide him with an alibi indicated his actions were premeditated.
Another detail indicates premeditation. The club used to kill Natalie had been carefully sharpened at both ends. The killer had planned his crime all along.
This was not a piece of wood that had been torn from a nearby tree. This piece of wood had been prepared. Both ends had been sharpened. It was a weapon.
During this case, many scientific analyses extract evidence from the clues, throwing light on the truth and confounding the murder. Without any confession from Patrice Chevalier, Natalie's murder still has its gray areas.
What we don't know, and this is frustrating, is where she was killed. All we know is that it was extremely violent. So I can understand that all the family can do is imagine all the different scenarios in which she was killed. And I'm just sorry I couldn't give him the answers.
Chevalier never gave the family the chance to get an explanation of Natalie's final moments. It's very, very difficult for them, because he never confessed.
It was her smile, too. Her smile, which I think has stayed in everyone's memory. Her loved ones as well as her customers. That's gone. When you go to the Clos des Roses at Menil-le-Roi, that smile isn't there anymore. A lot of people must miss that, even after all these years.
Every day on Pluto TV, with rom-coms, tearjerkers, and epic love stories.
We're getting married.
Our movies will make you want to fall in love over and over again.
I'm actually too.
Watch Pluto TV Romance.
Embrace your curiosity by going inside. The unexpected.
It's out of this world.
The extreme. The inspired. The obscure. The insane. An insider's look at the world around us. On Pluto TV Inside.
Watch Pluto TV Movies, your all-day movie house.
Consider the fact it might be a ghost or something of that nature. I couldn't believe it that we were really going to find out what it was. We attempted to communicate with it, and it actually was responding.
We literally just went like that. And it's gone.
Get exclusive access inside a working general practice and discover what life is like in the surgery day to day.
Bit of a mess, isn't it?
The work is endless.
When did you last do a poo? A few months ago.
I'm always impressed by how people find resources within them.
Watch My 5 GPs Behind Closed Doors 24/7 on Pluto TV.
They know what they want, and they know how to get it. French art masterpieces, millions in Japanese yen.
in the dead of night or in broad daylight. Dangerous, organized, and unpredictable. Who are they, and how can they be stopped? Interpol is on the case. Jurisdiction, the world. When crimes are committed, an international organization unites police officers to deliver justice. Interpol investigates. France, October 1984. After midnight, the small museum in the village of Semur-en-Auxois closed hours ago. But that doesn't stop some determined art collectors. The thieves have done their homework. The museum has no security system. No bars on the windows. Nothing to stop them. And they know something crucial that most of the town's residents take for granted. This unassuming little museum holds 5 masterpieces by 19th century artist Jean-Baptiste Camille Corot. They have never been on the market, making their value impossible to measure. A good job warrants a nice tip. One of the robbers takes it in the form of antique coins, snatched as an afterthought. With no witnesses, no bloodshed, and almost no effort, they accomplish their mission, snatching a treasure in art in a matter of minutes. The next morning, hours after the fact, a museum worker makes the horrifying discovery. He notifies the French gendarmes, the military police that serve rural areas. Sergeant Jean Dassy takes the frantic call.
The phone call was short. We didn't get a lot of details. We just got there as soon as possible.
The forensic team scours every centimeter of the museum. They look for a dropped tool, a scrap of paper, anything to help them. But the simplicity of the crime makes it that much harder to find clues.
The only trace we found were shoe prints in the courtyard.
François! Viens voir.
The press suggested at least 2 people made off with the paintings.
The gendarmes call on Inspector Toussaint Pogial from the Judiciary Police in Dijon. The commander in charge of art crimes is perplexed.
Most of the stolen art cases I worked on